Hey guys, it's Beth, and welcome to my very first speed build. I decided to renovate this house here in Willow Creek for my Legacy Challenge Let's Play that I'm doing. I do have a few videos out on that. If you want to check it out, I'll be sure to leave a link to the first video in the description. But I have made a few Sims that I have placed in the world that needed a home, and I wanted to see if she would possibly be able to meet them and they can start a relationship. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's kind of what I'm hoping. And who I have living here, it is a set of twins boys, and they are the Blackwell brothers, James and Isaac. They are kind of complete opposites, but they get along really well. They are best friends, and they're just trying to make it on through life together. They are young adults, so they've just moved out on their own, and they are trying to brave the world together one step at a time. But I did want to stay within their budget that they had remaining when they bought this house, so it will not be unlimited funds, which I had tried to cheat money, but since I was in build mode and not actually on them, I could not. So it made me stick to that budget no matter how much I wanted to try. But I did get them a really nice house for the budget that they had. I think I've changed this house just enough. I wanted a good combination of siding and stone, so I do add in a little bit of that, and I did turn the house completely horizontal and added a few sections coming out the front. I love the way that it turned out, but before we kind of get into the house, I do want to tell you about James and Isaac. James is the oldest of the twins. He is active, he's a bro, he is self-assured, and he has high metabolism, which you get that from being active. He is in the athlete career, and he is very... I like to call him as very strict. He likes things a certain way and very clean. And I feel like Isaac is complete opposite. Isaac, his traits are genius, a quick learner, loves the outdoors, and he's jealous. So I feel like this jealous traits kind of come in nicely in the Let's Play if they do happen to meet Kate, which is my main player in my Let's Play. But I feel like he's always felt that he's in the shadow of James. Like, James is like the one everyone's wanting Isaac to look up to or be like. And Isaac's just he has like an issue with that with his brother, even though they are best friends and they get along so well, but he does have a little bit of that jealousy inside of him. So it'd be interesting to see who Kate gets along with better, and then maybe if jealousy comes into play. But I do have him working as a manual laborer, even though he is a genius, because the storyline of Isaac really inspired me. I really like Isaac's storyline because even though he is a genius and he's a quick learner, he doesn't want to do the jobs that's just going to make him the most money, because he's not like that. He likes to be a manual laborer because he likes to put in that work and effort to try to make the world a better place, and then use that genius trait to make it better for the world. So I really like Isaac's storyline, but I'm really excited to see if she will actually be able to meet them, so I'm hoping she will. But as for the house, I just kind of redid the front here a little bit. I didn't change too much of it up. I was having a really hard time with these window placements right here on this second outing of the house, so I decided to not put a window there. I don't know if I'll go back and put windows at some point, but I think I'm just going to leave it the way that it is. And I had thought about making that whole middle section stone, but instead I decided to just make the bottom half stone. I really liked the way that looked, and I did choose a dark blue and navy color for the outside. I thought that would look really well with the boys. But Here is the inside, and right now I'm just lighting it up so we can see what's going on. And I do change the layout of this a couple of times. It takes me a little while to get it the way that I want it, but I do start off with changing the floorboards. I did really want a good medium floorboard, and I think I use these ones here from I don't know where those are from. Let me get in here and check really quickly and see what floorboards I have used. Let's see. Okay, yes, so the floorboards I use are actually from Jungle Adventure. They're the rustic wooden planks. I really loved the way that those looked. And then I did that throughout the entire house, and I thought I was going to do it for the bedrooms, but I do end up eventually putting carpet in the bedrooms. But as for the bathroom, with what we're working on now, I had used the polished marble tile, and that came with the Dine Out pack. So I did use quite a few different packs. I was going to try to stick to a limited amount, but that went out the window and I ended up using a whole bunch. But I just make the bathroom really simple. Their house is going to end up being really simple since I was having to work with a limited budget. But I tried to keep it all nice and clean since James, he seems to be kind of like the stricter one, but they don't really have a lot of clutter sitting around, and everything is nice and neat and has a good place. But I just put in a little cabinet over here off to the side because there was kind of a weird space between the shower and the wall, so I thought a good linen cabinet would work great, which I just used one from the kitchen cabinets, but I think it looks really good and gives them extra storage for their things, even though you can't actually get in there, but I like to think that that's what they would use it for. And then I just give them a good rug to go in front of their shower, and then I'm going to move on to James's bedroom after I get this light and some toilet paper put in the bathroom with a small trash can. I feel like I don't see a lot of people put trash cans in their Sims bathrooms, which I know they can't technically use them as a bathroom trash can, but I like the way that it looks because I know I always have a trash can in my bathroom, so it makes me feel like it's a little bit more realistic. But I really like the way this bathroom turns out. It's really light and bright compared to kind of like the rest of the house, which just kind of needs a little bit more decorations, but I think that'll come as time goes. And but I really like the way that the bathroom turned out. And as for this bedroom right here, this is going to be James's bedroom. And I do switch the layout of the house because I didn't feel like the bedrooms were going to be big enough, especially the one on the left. Like that would be really hard to have a bedroom in unless you had like a twin size bed, which I wanted them both to have double beds because they are young adults, and I just wanted them to have that possibility. So it does take me a little while here to reposition the floor plan, but eventually they both get bigger rooms, and I love the way that it turns out. And it does kind of change up this big square that was the living room and the kitchen, which I kind of didn't like anyway. I thought it needed to be broken up a little bit more, but I really like the way that I eventually get this layout. So this ends up being the final layout that I'm going to go with, and I love the way that it turned out. It gives them both plenty of room in their bedrooms, and I decided to keep their both individualized skill building um, like tools and equipment that I'm going to choose for them out in the main living area that they can work on outside of their bedrooms, which I liked that idea too because their bedroom's more of like their own space and someplace that they can go to relax. But here I'm working on James's bedroom, and I really stick with a black and white kind of theme for him, because he's just kind of more like, he's very like straightforward. He's very active. He's very into sports, but like he doesn't step out of the box that much in my opinion. And that's kind of what I stuck with decorating his bedroom. It's all very kind of plain. There's nothing really that stands out that says, hey, like, I'm James, but that's kind of what I wanted for him. So I do get a bed, I do get a dresser in here, and then I put a small mirror over here to the side because I figured with him being in the athletic career, he would, be checking his body out and seeing seeing like how well he was improving. But I get a couple side tables in over here. And then I do go ahead and take a break on his room, and I start on his brother Isaac's room just because I needed a break, and I needed to come back to that because I wanted to make sure that I was decorating it kind of the way that I wanted to. Plus, with the budget, I needed to make sure that I wasn't going to go overboard on decorations, and made sure I got all the necessities in. And it got a little tight for a little while, but it all works out in the end, and I love the way that it turns out. I have this futon bed in there right now, but I do end up changing that to a different bed because his brother Isaac, so James is very like black and white, straightforward, and I think Isaac, he is more of like, I view him as more of like travel the world. He loves the outdoors. He's a little bit more okay with like colorful things and learning, and just they're kind of complete opposites, which I do give him a bookcase in his room since he is a genius trait. And I know that I said I was keeping their skill building separate, but I do give James like a weight bench, and then Isaac a chess table, and those go out into the living area. So they do have a little bit kind of that goes with them in the room, but not much. So I jumped back to James's room. We're kind of jumping all over the place, and I end up giving him it took me forever to find a rug that would fit with this room. I eventually find one, but it took a while to find one that I liked. So I give him a rug, and then I also get Isaac a rug as well. And once I put the rug in for James, that's pretty much it. I do get a little picture frame on that side table for him. I do go back to that, but I'm jumping all over the place, and I apologize. That's just kind of how my brain works, especially when I'm making a house for like specific Sims. So I've moved on to Isaac's room, and I'm trying to find a wardrobe for him. I do end up going with this wardrobe right here. I just feel like it's more open and it matches the bed really well. So I went with that, and then I'm going through and changing the wall colors of the house, just to kind of tie it all in together. And their bathroom is the only one that has kind of a bright and pastel-y color, which I kind of like it. It kind of seems bright, but everything else is more so just like gray and wood tones. So that's kind of what I stuck with. And then here I'm trying to section out the kitchen and the living room because I was getting close on funds, so I needed to make sure that I'd have enough for all the appliances and cabinet and what I wanted for the living room area. I tried to section it off right here with a half wall for the kitchen, which I thought worked out really well, and it divided the room without actually dividing the room like with a full wall. So I really liked that they were still able to communicate with each other if someone was in the living room and someone was in the kitchen. So it was still kind of like an open concept kitchen living room area. So I do like the way that it turned out, but I line this little corner here with cabinets, and then I get in their fridge, and then also a stove. And then I make sure to put in a fire alarm because you always need that. You don't want your Sims dying from a fire because it seems to happen quite often. And then I just put a little dining table over here off to the side wall, and then put a couple of chairs. I got these chairs that like matched. They're kind of wooden and they seem kind of uncomfortable, but they're gonna do because they're on a budget. And then here's the chess table for Isaac I was talking about, and then James's weight bench is over there in the other corner, so they can work on their skills while being in the same room. I do get a little couch in here with a TV. I tried to keep it very like manly as well, like bachelor pad ish, but with the limit of money, it kind of just seems empty. But hopefully, a long time we can fill it up with some things for them. I do put I found that picture of a map I was going to put above the dining room table. I do end up putting that in Isaac's room above his bed. I thought that matched him really well, with him loving the outdoors, and he kind of just seems like he would travel the world. But his room's a little more decorated than James's because I feel like he is a little bit more open to more ideas than James is. So he gets a little bit more kind of decorative pieces that would kind of fill his room up, that would match him, whereas James, he's not into all that like decorations, extra things. Like I think I just put like one little picture of his like the team photo off to the side of his side table, which I thought matched him really well. And I was going to put this clutter of sports stuff in the corner, but then to match his personality, I was like, that wouldn't be him, because he wouldn't just have stuff laying in the corner on the floor. He would have a spot for it. So I ended up deleting that and getting rid of it. But I put that little team picture on the nightstand, and then I also put a little lamp, and then his room is really completed. So that's all that I get for his room. And then I think Isaac's room is done as well. So at that point it is all done. And here's when I was trying to I had to cheat to get the picture frame, but I really wanted that picture frame because it just matched James's personality. I think that's all he would have, like a picture up in his room as far as like pertaining to him, because he is such an athlete, and that's what he's into the most, and that's what means the most to him. And it's not necessarily like clutter that's going to clutter up his room. But their rooms are all finished, and I am putting some salt and pepper shakers on the dining room table. I get a sink in and a trash can off to the side, and then I work with this corner here in the kitchen for a little while. I was trying to do some like dish drying racks and a bowl of fruit, but we inevitably just kind of ran out of money, so I end up just leaving it with a bowl of fruit, and I think it ends up looking really well. And I didn't want the kitchen too cluttered anyway. They could definitely use with a little bit more stuff, but it's gonna work for what they need it for anyway. So I try a few different things I'm trying to squeeze in, but it just eventually just doesn't work. And here I am trying to get that money sheet to work, and I could not understand why it wasn't working, but I eventually found out that it was because I wasn't renovating the house in their like play mode. I was in build mode through the world, so I couldn't cheat any money because there wasn't technically a household there to cheat the money with. But it did still have like the amount of money they had left for when I was like building in build mode. So I don't really know, but it didn't work, which I'm thankful for anyway, because I didn't want to cheat with their money to begin with. So I'm really glad that it didn't work anyway. So I ended up staying with the budget that they have, and I think it turned out really well for what their budget was. But here's that bowl of fruit that I decided to choose, and that's what stays. And then I was trying to find a picture to go above the dining room table, but I don't think I find one to put above there. Let me see. Yeah, I know. I eventually end up leaving it plain. I do put a little like utensil thing beside the stove, which you probably already saw. But now I'm moving on to landscaping, and I did cheat here because landscaping is absolutely ridiculous in price. So I did end up cheating. I did do all the debug landscape, so it's all free, but I don't really see an issue with that since I'm not technically going to be playing with this household anyway. For the most part, I may play with them for a little bit, but I stuck to the budget as well as I thought that I could, and I'm okay with using debug free landscaping, and I think it turns out pretty well. It does take me a little while to go through it, but I eventually get it looking nice. Okay, so I did want to jump into the game here and show you what the house looked like. So we're live in the game. It is 9:55 p.m. and I apologize for the lighting. I wish it was during the day so you guys could see the outside better, but they are standing out here on the porch, and there is Isaac and James. So let me introduce you. This is Isaac, and then this is James over here. So you can kind of tell a difference in their personalities by what they're wearing. So James, he's very, slick looking, black and white, whereas Isaac over here is more down to earth and wearing some boots and just some different colors. But that is the boys, and then here you walk into the front door, and here's a little living area. I did take a picture of them together and I put them on the wall because I thought that would be really sweet. And then here is the chess table for Isaac, and then James's weight bench is over here in the corner. We definitely need some like plants or something to liven this place up, but I like the way that it turned out because I mean they only have $254 left, so we were kind of tight on money, but as for the kitchen, it's nothing special, but it is usable, and that's all that really matters. You've got your sink, you've got your trash can, and some place to eat. And then over here is the bathroom. It is very simple as well, nice and clean looking. Same thing for James's bedroom. I ended up not choosing a rug that you saw, but his is very slick and clean looking. And then here's Isaac's. His is a little bit more cluttery, but still nice and clean looking. He's got a lot more books. He does have the genius trait, so he likes to research and study. And then this is his wardrobe over here. I did get a cute little plant over here in the corner, so I'm really excited with the way that his room turns out and looks like. But yeah, this is their little house. I love this big porch on the front deck, and then also I was really hoping to do something in their backyard, but we ran out of cash as well. So they have this nice steps that go out into the backyard, and I could use some work on my landscaping, so sorry about that. I'm going to try to work on getting better with that. But for the most part, I love the way that this little house turned out, and it's a perfect starter home, especially for these boys just moving out into adulthood and trying to figure things out together. But if you want to download it, I will have it up on the gallery, and be sure to check out my Let's Play that's going along with this, and hopefully she will meet one of these boys and something will get started. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Please let me know what you think, and please let me know if you have any suggestions or helpful tips. I really love to hear those, so I cannot wait to see you guys in my next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye!